Hey everybody, welcome to Cloudy Game Reviews, and today I am your host. We got something good planned for today. First I want to do a quick shout out for pntsnetwork.com. Be sure to go and check us out over there. StadiaDosage.com. Check us out over there, and the Stadia Dosage YouTube channel, of course. Shout out to MM2K and everybody over at Stadia Dosage. Yeah, man, pretty excited about this. We got the Mortal Kombat 11 tournament coming up October 8th. Yeah, if you're interested in any information about that, be sure to follow Jeff Gignac and PurpleHaze, both members of the Cloudy Game Reviews panel. They are in the description. You can find their links to follow them. But let's go ahead and get into today's game. Today's game is Doom. And the original Doom is considered one of the first pioneering first-person shooter games. Introducing to IBM-compatible computers features such as 3D graphics, third dimension spatiality, network multiplayer gameplay, and support for player-created modifications. Over 10 million copies of the game and Doom series have been sold. The series has spawned numerous sequels, novels, comic books, board games, and film adaptations. So with that, I'm going to roll this trailer real quick for you, and then we'll bring out our panel.
The inner circle of death is where he resides, hunting them at the far reaches of the earth and beyond. And with him lies our salvation. There is only one dominant life form in this universe, and it carries a steel-barreled sword of vengeance. Welcome home, Great Slayer. Slayer's time is now.
Yeah, man, that's Doom right there. So let me go ahead and bring out SPG and my main man, Ray. What's up?
What's going on, folks?
Man,
yeah,
that was the spicy trailer, man. That makes me want to play that right now.
But it just,
yeah, that had me
adrenaline pumped.
Yeah, man. Dude, Doom is one of those. It's like to me, it's one of the greatest games ever. Just like put out into the public, put into our hands. Like it's one of the. It's like it's top tier.
It's definitely top tier,
It is.
man.
It is. I mean, I go way back when I had my first apartment. I spent hours. It actually gave me a huge love for first-person shooters. Getting those keys, going through those corridors, shooting those demons. Oh my god, love that game.
Yeah, man. I mean, like we were talking backstage a little bit about this, and like it goes so far back as like that when like somebody created a first-person shooter, they called it a Doom clone. Like FPS first-person shooter wasn't even a thing for like years.
Absolutely. And a matter of fact, after this game came out, it was so easily reskinned that you even had games pop up in cereal boxes that were reskins of this game. So absolutely, man. People cloned this game a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, like the crazy thing about like two names you need to know in Doom are John Carmack and John Romero. Those are the two names. That's the guy that created the engine for the game, and that's the guy that created the art. And these two guys, they did such a good job that even to this day, people are still making Doom maps from the first game.
Wow. Wow. Another name I'd like to throw out there is Mick Gordon. He did the soundtrack for the new installment of Doom, the Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. And what an artist, man! This guy's soundtrack is so good. We're gonna get into that later, but I just wanted to throw his name out there as well because he definitely deserves some praise. So, Lo-Fi, what's been your experience with Doom, man?
So, I mean, I've talked about this a few times if you're familiar with my content, but like when I was a kid, like me and my uncle, we built a computer together, and you know, it was like we did a lot of things in DOS, and Windows was still kind of like new, like at least to us. Anyway, we built this computer, and then we would tinker around in DOS, and like we started getting onto bulletin boards. And one of the first things that I noticed on a bulletin board was Alone in the Dark and Doom. And I downloaded Doom, and well, that and Wolfenstein, of course, but Doom, that freeware, I played that first episode over and over and over and over and over. So that game really I could not understand why this game was so awesome and every other game was still flat pixel 3D, you know, like not even.
Yeah, it did have like a generational leap to it, man, for the first person shooter, almost like Mario 64 did for 3D. You know what I mean?
Doom is like 2D. Yeah, Doom is like if aliens came down and gifted us some technology that was way ahead of our time.
Yeah, so to catch everyone up, the original Doom came out in 1993, a first-person shooter. It was developed by ID Software, and the Wolfenstein game that he's referring to was made in 1992. So Doom is a follow-up to that title.
But come on, man. You know,
it's a different game engine, though.
It's a different game. Yeah, two different games. But dude, let me tell you something. Back in the 90s, pixel art was like, oh man, like. Did you see the blood come out of that demon? Did you see the rocket shoot across the area? I mean, I got pumped playing Doom, but I had hip hop music back in the 90s, man. I had like Biggie Smalls and Tupac pumping my adrenaline when I was playing this game.
Protect your neck.
When I was playing this game, I had a studio apartment. I had a small TV. I don't know if you guys know, but Doom was on Sega 32X. 32X, you had to get that adapter and stick it in your Sega Genesis, and you had enhanced pixel graphics. And man, dude, play this. I mean, all I wanted to do was get the keys, go to the next level, find the hidden corridors, find the hidden rooms. They had the crazy half demon, half mercenaries coming at you, the shotgun blast. Oh my God. And then later on, 2004, I got Doom again, which was you had the spider babies upside down crawling in the space corridors. And then 2016, they had another Doom. I even got Doom VR. Yes, folks. I love Doom so much that I had to get this on my PlayStation VR, and it was crazy. My wife thought I was crazy. I had my plastic gun jumping over couches and stuff because she couldn't see what I saw. I thought it was demons coming at me and fireballs, and I was
I'm jealous.
I was blasting everything, man.
That's amazing. Yeah, seeing Ray barrel roll over couches. That'd be amazing.
It was man, it was so exciting. But I was happy when Doom Eternal came out to Stadia because this was one of the best damn ported games ever to drop on Stadia.
I would say flagship.
Cyberpunk was a good port, but Doom Eternal, man, that was like the music, the soundtrack, jumping crashing, these big giant balls with eyes, cyclop things coming at you. Oh my god, this game was so great, man. Let me shut up.
Yeah.
Man, on Stadia, these two titles, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. We got Doom Eternal first, I believe, and then 2016 came later. I think that's how we got it, if I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, fantastic ports, man. It really lets Stadia shine. It shows you how good and fast and fluid that games and graphics can be through Stadia. And really, if you want to show somebody what Stadia can do, turn this on and hand them the controller. They're going to have a ball. The glory kills, the rip and tear. It's just visceral. This game is like so visceral, and with the soundtrack, it's just amazing. But the first game we're going to discuss, though, is Doom 64. So, LoFi, have you checked out Doom 64 on Stadia?
Yes, I have. And
what are your thoughts?
So the thing about this one is it was remade from the original game for the Nintendo 64, and it was made by Midway under id Software's supervision. So it's not even on the original game engine, but it's an awesome port. The textures are upscaled, so they're like a lot better looking than they were in the original. But it feels weird. It feels like totally different from the original, the shareware version. It's like you're like slippery and you can move. There's like a fluidness to it. So
it's solid. I think it's the mixture of the higher frame rates, the higher textures, and just the fluidity of it. Like it definitely plays way different than the original did, for sure.
Right. And I think in a way, if you look at like how like Doom Eternal is, it might have played into how the feel of that game, because that's the whole thing with that game. It's like Doom Eternal, it's like I hit a flow state when I'm playing that. But back to the N64 version, I think they did a great job. All the secrets are there. Everything looks the same, except of course with the swastika thing that they changed. But they changed that. Well, there's a platform you walk across in one of the levels that was shaped like a swastika, and they had changed. Even in the original Doom, that's like one of the few things that they actually went in and changed.
Oh, gotcha.
And John Romero actually said it was because he had veterans who were fans of the game writing to him, and he was like, you know what, that's the one thing I'll change this, because it wasn't in the game to be like because just for the sake of having some evil sign in the game or something. It was a nod to Wolfenstein. It was them leaving a little piece inside this game.
Well,
yeah.
But
Gotcha.
you had the mercs look kind of like Nazi-like, and everybody in whatever movie you watch, you had to know Nazis dabble in the cult, supposedly.
Yep.
And
Yep.
So that's what that was. But I respect that he took that out.
Yeah, because like that's one thing. Like Doom does not back down, and they got lots of complaints about this game, and they were like, "Nah, we're not changing that."
Now, one thing I'd like to say right off the bat is we're going to give our reviews for each of these three games that are on Stadia of the Doom series. But Doom is on sale, so pick it up. It is a buy. Not a try, not a wait for pro. This is a buy.
I think Doom 2016 is like $7 right now or something, or less.
Doom 64 is $1.99, and that's the original remake, of course.
Yeah.
You know, a better frame rate and stuff, but the original goodness is there. I can't recommend that enough. It's $2, but the other games are on sale as well. There's expansions and season passes for both. There's also DLC for Doom Eternal, The Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2. Definitely look at the sale. We're going to give our reviews later, our numbers.
I do have to give a shout out. My boy Stadia Pro Gaming was streaming this game, Doom Eternal, and I got to say he beat it, folks, and he even beat the against the two DLCs. I watched this man curse, scream, jump on the floor, pull his hair out, but he did it. He played it. I give my all props to him. I couldn't do it. I'm actually, and I'm just keeping, I keep it real. I'm in the middle right now of Doom Eternal because it's just too damn hard. I can't do it. But I do love, I do love these original games. If it wasn't for these original games like Doom 2016 and even the Doom 64 and all there wouldn't be no Doom Eternal, man. These games were so huge. Parents, parents on the news were upset these kids were playing these games. Oh my God, it's pixel blood coming out of demons.
It comes from two different areas. See, what's really funny is that there was a lot of controversy around video games a long time ago due to violence and other explicit content. Like the religious people didn't like the fact they were diving into hell and demons. And then you had parents who were like, man, that's pretty violent. You see that blood and that shotgun? You just split that guy in half.
It was like pixel blood, man.
Bro, the dual chainsaw.
Oh, I still remember running around with that.
My favorite was finding the keys, the blue, the yellow, the red key. I mean, that was my favorite.
Bro, and how many times, if you don't even know about Doom, how many times have you heard about a BFG?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Gotta have the BFG.
Yep. And hey, save that ammo. That ammo for the end bosses with the BFG and Eternal anyway. That would be one of my tips right there. Oh yeah, man. Had such a great time with Doom. I played through Doom 64 many years ago. I played through Doom 2016 to completion and Doom Eternal. The experience is pretty phenomenal. As I said, it's like one of the best ports on Stadia. It's so smooth and fluid. The glory kills, like I said, you get in and get your hands dirty. You're popping demons' heads off and stabbing them in their intestines and pulling eyeballs out, throwing bombs down their throat. It's just so visual. It's stellar, man. And then you chime in with a death metal soundtrack that kicks you in the face when the game starts and just keeps thumping the whole time.
And the cool thing about the glory kills, they're not repetitive because it depends on what angle you're coming from at the enemy.
Yeah, but you know what though, guys? Doom 2016, which is on Stadia, has a different vibe than Doom Eternal. Eternal, you want to jump in a mosh pit head first and headbang.
Yeah.
With Doom 2016, you got kind of like alien vibes. You're like on a spaceship or something, or you're, dark corridors. You got evil scientists coming at you. You got all kinds of like monsters and demons meshed with human flesh coming at you in the dark, and you're running for your life. I don't know, man. 2017 Doom was awesome. I played that game over and over and over again, and I was so happy that they put it on Stadia.
Well, one of the big adjustments they did going from the old style of Doom to this reimagined 2016 version is the level design is pretty spectacular. In Doom 64, you'll run around and get lost because a lot of the hallways and corridors look the same, and you got to figure out a path, and you flip a switch, and then you're like, oh, what did that open? Let me go see where, you're always running around, trying to find your way. But in Doom 2016, they add platforming to it a little bit to where you got like a grapple hook. You have to jump and grab walls and climb and turn around and leap and do dashes in the air. They just did such a good job of changing the formula up, and they kept the action. They actually upped the action. I don't know how they fit so many high quality assets on the screen, running around, hitting you all at the same time with all those particle effects. Like, it has to be optimized to the 10th degree.
Right.
Just hats go off to these developers, man, that made this. It's so much fun.
Yeah, one thing that trips me out is there's no lighting engine in the first Doom. They had to draw the lighting in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Dude, you guys also can't multiplayer. modes, several modes such as Team Deathmatch and Soul Harvest, Freeze Tag, King of the Hill, Domination, Clan Arena. I mean, make these games make Doom 2016 awesome.
So yeah, man, let's talk about the music. What's up with this? Yeah,
Okay.
dude.
Mick Gordon, he did the soundtrack for Doom 2016, and it's a great soundtrack. People actually buy the vinyl to this album, they play it like an album. So Mick Gordon, he created the soundtrack. He mixed it. He did a whole bunch of stuff. He had the final say on what it was going to be. And people loved it, man. He got accolades all around, which he should have, because it's a fantastic soundtrack. And then they commissioned him for Doom Eternal. And things didn't go so well for him on Doom Eternal. The soundtrack is stellar and is amazing. I love it. But if you go,
Yeah, man. I mean, what
quick.
they got they had like a death metal choir.
Yeah, go ahead and explain what that is real quick, man, as I get this ready.
They just did like a calling out to like all the people that were in that music scene, like is small time, like not really people that have made it big, and just got all these really talented people together and then made a choir of death metal singers that you hear throughout the game. It
sets a tone.
And it's done so well. Like you hear that and you're like, oh, that sounds like a bunch of screaming. But when it's put together, it's like just a dark symphony. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Doom Eternal composer distances himself from soundtrack album, as critics say the mixing is subpar. Doom is practically synonymous with pounding metal soundtracks. The latest title is no exception. Composed by Mick Gordon, who previously wrote the music for Doom 2016, the official soundtrack for Doom Eternal released yesterday. But instead of providing the ultra-high quality listeners wanted, it's come under fire for sounding a bit off, and Gordon has distanced himself from the final mix. Talk about a bad rip, followed by tears. The discussion was prompted by audio blogger and Rough Audio founder Reese, that ACD guy, Niles, who highlighted problems with Doom's mixing. He noted the soundtrack's wavelengths look much flatter compared to the music of Doom 2016. As explained by Niles, this corresponds to the reduced dynamic range between the instruments within the track. In essence, it creates a poorer sound as none of the instruments are giving breathing room and instead fight against each other. Mick Gordon is a far more talented audio engineer than me. It's not even close to that's what makes this especially frustrating, Niles said. Now, saying that, he actually didn't have like the final say on the mix that was released, I don't think. I think that Bethesda made a judgment call, which he wasn't too happy with. So sadly, this Mick Gordon, he may not be coming back for another one if there is a third one. You can go ahead and remove this now, Lo-Fi, and I want your opinion. What do you think the odds of getting another Doom are? With or without Mick Gordon? With or without him?
Like I said, this is the greatest game series ever to me. Like I mean, prove me wrong, but it's there's no way you can't keep that from the people. We might go years without one, but it'll back.
We'll get another one eventually.
Definitely.
Also, we got to give props to Doom Eternal. It did get some awards as well. It was it got the Game Critics Award in 2019, Best PC Game, Best Action Game. It also was nominated in 2020. It was nominated Game of the Year, nominated Best Score in Music. I wonder who won that. I got to go back and check that. Best Audio Design, Best Action Game, Player's Voice. So this game, Doom Eternal, I'm talking about, got a lot of awards, and it's really, when you look at the ratings on this game, I mean, it's really high. Like out of like when you have to vote a 10, it got like a lot of 9s, a lot of 10s. If you did 100, it would usually get between like 80 and 90. So this game was rated very, very well, and it was great.
I had a blast with all these games. We'll go through. When is the last time you completed Doom 64, LoFi?
So
about 90. Go ahead.
I don't know, man, because I wouldn't say Doom 64 was the last time I completed Doom, because I bought it. I didn't play it like that much when it was on 64.
I appreciate that.
But having it on Stadia, I have been playing it time to time. But the last time I remember actually like playing through and beating Doom was on Super Nintendo.
Oh wow, that's a callback.
Yeah,
I beat it. I beat it within the last 8 years, but that's because I played it on a little shitty laptop on a train heading back to Michigan to take my nephew back there. I ended up playing it to completion on the train. How about you, Ray? When's the last time you actually played the 64?
Dude, I played a little bit. I mean, honestly, on Stadia, I played a little bit. It kind of brought back memories of when I had the original Doom 64 playing with my roommates. I didn't beat it. I let my roommate beat it, and I was rooting him on. And there was a lot of cursing, a lot of drinking, a lot of laughing. And that's what I love, me being old and seeing these games come back played on better machines and better technology. Seeing Doom 60, I mean, good Lord, they brought Doom 64 back, and I agree with LoFi. It does look a little smoother, you know. But I would pick Doom 64 on the Nintendo, man, because the controller,
bro. But let's not forget to shine a light on the fact that there was nothing like this, nothing like it when it came out, nothing even close. Like I said, it's like aliens came down and gave us technology.
I will say Hexen, because those were my two. Like, if I wasn't playing Doom, I was playing Hexen, but I would just inch Doom just a little bit over Hexen because of the secret stuff that you would find.
Yeah, it's a sick game.
But
I love it.
But dude, oh my God! Then they put Doom 2016 was a hit as well. That was a great game, and to play that in the cloud was awesome. I'm glad they brought that game to the cloud, and
I think Doom actually, Doom Eternal got no wins for all those awards that it got put up for. I don't think it won any of them. Yeah, it is crazy, actually.
Well, you got to go back and think what games
we had a
out.
good year. Yeah.
It was a lot of games, man. It was, I mean, was it even up against? No, Red Dead came out before that.
I think so. Yeah.
Dude. Thanks, Geek.
That's the first time I've ever heard that there was heard that about the soundtrack too. What you were saying, SPG, about it being flatter. Because it sounds perfectly fine to me. I don't even
know. It hits, man. It hits hard, and it does carry you through. Like even the low points in the game where there's not a demon in your face trying to kill you. Like that soundtrack, it keeps your heart beating in the back of your throat. You know.
Oh yeah. There's very few times where you can chill in Doom, and that soundtrack makes sure you don't chill.
First of all, that is the perfect soundtrack to play when you have a chainsaw and you're cutting through a giant cyclops eyeball.
Oh, also John Romero said the chainsaw was a wink at Evil Dead.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I could see that.
Come on, dude. That chainsaw was everything in that game, man. Like, that was, if you want to say everybody loves the BFG, I'm sorry. That chainsaw, when them demons, and you turn around, oh man.
Yeah, man.
With that music playing, oh.
Like just the mechanics, man. Just the mechanics. The way they designed it to where you have to use that chainsaw and you have to use them at the right moment on the right enemy to get either ammo or health or armor. Like, I don't know, man. They just did such a good damn job. And the high frame rates, the level design. There's a little bit of platforming in there.
Yeah, there is. It's kind of almost it got a little Castlevania to it.
A little bit.
But
how many times I had to learn how to jump on the side of a castle and climb up, and I would just that was the very first part that drove me nuts is I had to jump and like walk like scale on the side of a castle.
And what about them sound effects? When you grab the wall, it sounds like you're clutching rock. I don't know, man. The sound, man, the sound effects, the sound quality. I don't know.
Yeah, man. One thing I want to point out though is
you should not miss out on. If you like first-person shooters, do not miss out on these titles.
Oh, you can't miss out on Doom if you love first-person. This is the one. Man, I'm telling you, this is the best. So, like, one thing to point out though is the entire. Even though there's all these different Dooms, it's like the entire storyline is on Stadia from 64 to Eternal. That's the entire storyline right there.
Right.
Yep. So go check these games out, guys, for sure, because I believe they're on sale right now. You can pick up Doom 64 for $2 and have probably 3 or 4 hours of enjoyment of that game if you grind all the way through it.
Do you recommend the DLCs on Eternal SPG?
Yes, I can. So let me put it to you this way. Doom 2016 gets very hard and gets very fast paced, but it is a much slower game in the beginning. They're trying to teach you about the new mechanics of this world. They're trying to, like, you start off with a pistol. In Doom Eternal, you hit the ground running with a shotgun. They don't even waste time giving you the pistol. So anyway, Doom 2016 was built really well. It had good difficulty and it was really fun. Doom Eternal is like that +5 on some steroids. Like, they throw everything at you and the game has an incredible difficulty if you crank it up. But by the time you get to the end, it's super hard. You beat the last guy and you think, woo, I did it. And then there's DLC. There's the Ancient Gods Part 1 and the Ancient Gods Part 2, and that is Doom Eternal, like, turned up 5 notches. So they throw everything at you and the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
You have to learn new mechanics, and there's like twice as many enemies on the screen at all times. So Doom Eternal is one of those games that will give you hours and hours and hours of challenging content. And the DLCs can be picked up for next to nothing. I think it's less than $20 if you can find them on sale. And there's at least 6 hours of content there. If you play all the way through without, dying repeatedly. It's just fantastic. Those DLCs are an incredible value. And I think that if you're into first-person shooters, really this experience shouldn't be missed. I really think you should grab Eternal and the DLCs and 2016.
I would say if you want to experience one of the best games on Stadia, like, this is like the caviar of Stadia is Eternal.
There is nothing like holding a BFG 9000 in your hand, shooting platinum balls. And it's cool because this BFG was also in the other games as well. They actually upgraded the BFG through the games, holding the trigger down and just letting it go.
Or being able to rip a demon's leg off and then stab it in the eye with its leg. Yeah.
Dude, that is so gory. The glory kills cannot be underestimated. You would think glory kills it gets old after a while. I'll tell you, that is not true. Every time you yank a leg off and smack them with it, you get a giggle inside.
There's nothing like looking down and you got a bunch of demons and you can just jump right down and drop kick them in the face and rip them apart.
What's crazy, as hard as the game gets, it's not. you start out as a beast. Like you
Yes.
are just a killing machine, and you
Right.
constantly upgrade non-stop through the
Yup.
game, and you are just a killing machine, and it's still a challenging game.
It's amazing how powerful you feel when you start off, and yet there's all those upgrades still ahead of you. It's kind of remarkable how they built that, you know. And
So 3 things I want to talk about though before we get to the end of the show is Doom tips, Doom ripoffs, and then of course your rating.
Go for it.
So what are y'all's tips for new players coming to Doom?
I'm gonna let SPG's the tipper. I'm gonna let him go first.
okay, I'll give you some tips for Doom. Now, this goes for all the Dooms except for like 64, because that's an older version, different mechanics, stuff like that. But for Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, move, move, move. You stand still, you die. Always move. It doesn't matter if there's a bunch of enemies in the room or not. You just keep moving. If you stop, you die. It gives them time to hit you. It gives them time to shoot at you. Just keep moving. You want to run and gun the entire time. Learn your dashes so that you can dash away from enemies at the proper moment, because they will corral you and try to get you stuck in a corner. Save that BFG ammo for the end bosses, or for an extremely hard part that you keep getting stuck at. One good shot from the BFG can take down 3 large enemies that are ruining your time trying to get past the level. Platforming, there's always somewhere to go. If you get stuck, take your time, climb to the top, climb to the bottom, look all around, and leap off with just guess and jump. You will probably end up finding where you're supposed to go. You can check the map and all that, but I never
Yeah, the
did
map's
that.
pretty good.
Yeah, it is. I never used the map though.
So Rudix has a question. What's the year 1 pass about?
I'm not actually sure. I'm not sure if the year pass. Wait a minute. The year pass includes.
I think there's like skins and stuff you get.
Yeah, there's also the battle mode that's added.
Right.
And but I believe though with the year pass you get the Ancient Gods 1 and 2. I'm not for certain, but I think that's the way it goes. You'd have to look that up though to be certain. But yeah, keep moving, and then pay attention to the mechanics they're teaching you. If an enemy is coming at you and the game just stops and it says it's showing you how you kill them, and
it's showing you the weaknesses.
Yes, and you have to, for certain enemies, you have to do it the way they say, or you'll never do damage to the enemy, and you'll get frustrated and die repeatedly. And yeah.
And the truth
those would
is
be my
like,
tips.
find your way and to find a flow state, because there's I see a lot of people, and this will happen to everybody when you're playing it, but you'll get to where like you'll be on one section of the map and you're like, I either you run out of ammo, and ammo is so sparse by the end of it you can't finish off the last demon in the room. When you get in that flow state, you just gotta like your attacks are what give you more armor, more health, more ammo. So you have to like vary your attacks and remember pay attention to what your ammo needs. Like, so if you need ammo, you need to chainsaw.
So what LoFi is basically saying is in the game, you can do certain attacks and get certain buffs. So if you use your fire or your grenade or something, the people that die from that drop armor pieces. You can pick those up and buff yourself. If you run up and chainsaw a low guy, they'll drop ammo for you. There's a whole bunch of ways to get through this stuff. A well-placed headshot on certain enemies with certain weapons will make them explode into a whole bunch of health or ammo.
Bro, there's been times where I've fought a boss and had a hard time, and then I come back later, like replaying it, and I come back and find out that I didn't even have to fight him. I could have just chainsawed that guy.
This
and it ends the fight instantly.
This is my tip. Run your ass and look for extra life.
Yeah.
Look for extra life, folks.
Yep.
That's your number one. Life. Look for those extra lives, man. They're hidden. Look for it. Run.
Never stand still. That's
never stand still. Run your ass. That's my tip.
This is one of those games, if you're into first-person shooters, where you will lose time. You will play for 3 hours and go, "Oh, I only played 45." Whoa! Like you'll lose time in this game.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's because of that flow state.
Yes.
That game is the best at pulling a player into
now
a
one thing
flow
we
state.
didn't. Before I give my rating and we go around with everybody, I just want to say the multiplayer. There is literally multiplayer in this game. You can get 3 people together to fight. One person is the Doom Slayer and 2 people are demons or something. And I haven't done it personally. Ninja
Kind of reminds
X,
me of like a Dead by Daylight type situation.
well, it's a death match pretty much.
Yeah.
But shout out to Ninja Guy X. He does. I haven't been able to make one of them, but he actually does multiplayer for this game, and a lot of people really do enjoy it. I can't. How do you say that? Holy crap!
I can't see.
Yeah, I can't see. Says that it should be free to play. The multiplayer should be, and I would agree with that. So that more people were in there playing. You have to literally. If you're going into this game for multiplayer, keep into consideration that you have to set up your own multiplayer session. You can't just go and you literally have to set it up with your friends to make sure you're going to
invite them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because if you do a random search, you're most likely not going to find somebody to play with.
Bro, another thing we hadn't said about Eternal that popped into my head was the load times. That game loads fast.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Very fast. So that's another great thing about it is like when you die, you click a button, you're back in.
Also, always use Flame Belch on a glory or chainsaw kill to get extra armor.
Yeah. There's certain ways you can do certain attacks and then buff your character. Now, myself, I didn't do all that. Like, oh, I'm low on armor. Let me hit this and do that and get more armor. No. I just ran balls to the wall, shooting everything that looked ornery, and I ended up.
That's what happens.
And it was cursing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was horses in the chat.
Oh yeah.
So, LoFi, what would you score all of these, man? Doom 64, Doom 2016, and Doom Eternal, sir.
So I haven't really played a lot of the 2016, but I mean it's Doom, so they all get a 10.
They get a 10.
They get 11. An 11.
He's not biased.
11 clouds out of 10.
Yes.
All right. So apparently it's a buy, not a try, and don't wait for pro. You buy this thing, huh?
It's dude, this is a piece of gaming history that's still living and still pushing the limits. It's still inspiring. Like I said, we haven't even got to the Doom ripoffs yet, but yeah.
Right on, man. Well, I would give now. I might get a little flack for this, but I would give Doom 64 6 clouds out of 10. And why would I do that? Is because it doesn't quite feel like the original. Right. It looks way better, plays way better, right. But it doesn't quite. It's not exactly like what I remember, but it's very enjoyable. I still get lost trying to flip switches and find what door opened and all that happy shit. So I would say 6 clouds out of 10 for Doom 64. And for Doom 2016, I'm going to give it 8 clouds out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a little slow to pick up in the beginning. But after you're about an hour into the game, it just never slows down again. So totally recommend that. 8 out of 10. And then Doom Eternal is going to get an even higher rating, man. It's going to get an 8.7 clouds out of 10 for me. I can't give it a 10 because I don't know. I got frustrated with a little bit of the platforming, but that's my issue. Nobody else's. That's just my personal opinion. I'd give it 8.7 out of 10 clouds. Ray, what do you think about these titles?
Doom 64, I'm right there with you, but I'm gonna be a little bit nicer. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And I'm right there with you because I'm old school, man. I like the I played Doom 64 with the old classic 64 controller. I like that feeling, but I do appreciate, thank you Stadia for bringing an awesome classic. But once again, I'm giving it a 7. On Doom 2016, I'm sorry SPG, but I'm not like heavy metal and fast paced like you are. I like Doom at the slower pace because that's what works for me, and I can get through further in the game. So I had to give it a 9 out of 10. And I mean, good Lord, I bought this game on the Xbox, on the PlayStation, got the VR, got the PC. So I love 2016. And 2016 was a good year for me.
That's another thing. The original Doom also had its own little state share.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you could just give your friends the level code, and they could share with you. Yeah.
So you gave 2016 a 9. What are you giving Eternal?
Doom Eternal, come on, man. This is on a whole nother level. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10, especially if you're playing it on Stadia, because on Stadia, it was an awesome port. The music was off the chain. The animation, the character, the pace, the monsters coming at you, the breaking off and beating somebody's ass with their leg. I mean, this game is if you are a Stadia, you have Stadia, and you do not have Doom Eternal, you are not doing yourself. Go get this game now. Get this game. All right.
Yeah,
and play this game.
And I think it's on sale, so go snatch them up.
Game
Doom
is on
64
sale.
is $2.
When you beat it, get the DLCs. If you need help, DM SPG. He beat the game. He's got the tips. Watch the videos. See what this man had to go through to beat this game, because I did. This game is awesome. Once again, a 10 out of 10. It's a win.
And so, as far as which one to play first, I would say go for Eternal, man. Why not try the best of what they've had to offer so far? And it's a great place to start.
Now, folks, get you some of that 2016. Learn, because let me tell you something. It's like Vietnam War. All right. 2016, you're in boot camp learning.
Yep.
Doom Eternal, your ass is in the middle of the war.
Yeah, man.
Run.
It's
Doom
beast.
Eternal or Doom 2016 holds your hand a little bit and gets you to understand the mechanics they want you to learn, and then Doom Eternal, they just kick you off the boat. I hope you can swim.
Yeah, I guess so.
What did I get myself?
I kind of like
into,
that
Doom
though,
Eternal?
you know.
Oh, I do too. Except in like a game like Sekiro that's punishing me that's mercilessly. They don't teach you enough.
And for all you casual dads out there like myself, and you like that retro groove, you hop on in there to Doom 64, man. You know, if you're not into the head banging, fast pace, whatever, and you want something just smooth, get you some of that Doom 64, especially at the price that it's in the Stadia store. Go get it.
Absolutely, man. You can't go wrong. $2, that's less than a cup of coffee now.
That's right.
That's right. So before we go, I'm gonna kick up a little dust. I mean, I'm not gonna put too much shade out there because I mean, like I said at the beginning, everybody was calling first-person shooters Doom clones.
Yeah.
And so there's a difference between making a first-person shooter and then being original. I'm gonna say Master Chief is a Doom guy ripoff, and I love
I can see that. I could see that. I can see how you could say that, man.
No, you didn't. No,
Ray said that's blasphemy.
Let me stop. You know what though? You didn't have sticky bombs though. He wasn't throwing sticky bombs.
Man, I love Master Chief. The sticky bombs is my favorite.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe you went there, LoFi.
That was a huge shot fired. But anyway. Some of those clones were literally clones, though, like the Chex Quest and that kind of stuff. It was a literal clone with just a reskin.
Yeah,
nothing wrong paying homage to an awesome game. If it wasn't for Doom, and they took all like the big guns and the secret corridors, the keys. Jesus Christ! Every game you got find a key to get through something. Come on. You
Dude,
know,
that's the thing. Doom didn't just push the envelope. They created it.
Yes,
exactly.
No, they did, and that's why, like,
They
they created a genre all to themselves, and anybody that steps into that genre is now a clone, or could be.
Yeah,
called
I mean,
that.
John Carmack is known as one of the greatest programmers of our lifetime. So
they're right now that just hopped, like, there's a Doom clone game that just hopped on Game Pass. That is a straight up Doom clone. Straight up Doom clone. Go check it out. It just popped on there, I think, yesterday. But there's nothing like the original Doom. There's nothing like I gotta also send a special shout out to Doom 2004. Doom 2004 was awesome. That brought back the sparks. There was people having LAN parties. Yes, I was a nerd with my PC. Hey, dude, where can I put my PC at? Let's hook it up. 2004.
Where do I put my 800 megahertz beast?
No, I'm not saying that, Perp, because that was created by Bungie, and I love Bungie.
Yeah, don't go there. But yeah, check out some of the classics. Doom 2004 was awesome. There was also Final Doom, which was an awesome game. Check out, go back, Doom, do your research, your history. But Doom is an amazing first-person shooter.
Yeah, yes, it is, man, and it's on sale on Stadia right now. So
Doom
this
Eternal
is not
awesome port on Stadia.
Yeah, this is not a try. This is not a wait for pro. This is a buy, guys. Definitely.
Buy it.
Definitely. You're not gonna regret it. She's reading between the lines, LoFi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. That's fine. I'm good with that. So, yeah, guys, I guess we're gonna get out of here. And man, that was a really fun game to review. Hope you guys enjoyed joining us.
I was hoping, please, Purple, please, Mayne World, please, Jeff, don't pick that. Don't pick Doom.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we did it. 'Cause Doom Eternal, folks, once again, is probably one of the #1 best port games on Stadia. It's amazing. And get you some headphones and crank up the volume.
Oh
yeah, and
man.
shout out to
you're gonna feel that your pulse in the back of your throat. I'm telling you.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff,
shout out
to PurpleHaze, shout out to Mayne World, Mayne Game. Also, shout out to my man MM2K out here on StadiaDosage. And shout out to Jack the Slip. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we got the Mortal Kombat 11 tournament coming up on October 8th, guys. Don't forget about that. For more information about that, please follow Jeff and PurpleHaze. Check your emails if you signed up.
Yep.
Everything's coming down. I don't know if they have still. Perp, let us know in chat if you guys got more room on the tournament, if people are interested in that. But yeah, be sure to
the email. Actually,
but be sure to check them out. We got links to them in the description, so you can follow them. Perp says there's 2 spots available. So yeah, and I mean. Yeah, and even with 2 spots available, go ahead and sign up, because if people drop out, things happen. Things need to be moved around. $400 to first place. $400 to first place.
No,
wow.
I gotta sign up. Look at that. She's making it rain. Man, that's fantastic. Ray, what do you have going on, sir? Where are you going to be?
I got Wreckfest on Stadia tonight on Ray3473 on Twitch TV. I play Wreckfest with my best friends from around the world. So check that out, 10 p.m. Pacific time. And then tomorrow it is Retro Rewind with my man SPG. We got Papa Bear Gaming with his sexy voice. And we also got CGD, Joe Cloud Gaming Dad. It's going to be an awesome retro show. That's it, folks. Boom.
How about you, SPG?
Oh, me? Ray just covered it. I'm going to be doing Retro Rewind tomorrow at 2 p.m. CST with Papa Bear Gaming and Joe, Cloud Gaming Dad. Should be a lot of fun. We might even talk about Doom just a little bit. I mean, maybe. We talk about all kinds of retro stuff, man. So it'd be great to see you guys. How about you, LoFi? What are you doing, bro?
Man, as for me, I'm getting tired of getting made fun of over Far Cry, so I'm trying to complete that.
Hey, I should jump on that with you and help, man. I've
Wait
beat
a
that
minute,
game.
wait a minute. What Far Cry 5 or Far Cry 6?
6.
LoFi, don't feel bad. I haven't beat it either.
Bro, I've been just doing one mission at a time on stream.
There's so many games.
Hey,
I'm
that's
sorry.
LoFi, guess what? That's all it takes to get it done. It's one mission at a time.
Well, that's why it's been taking so long. So now I'm doing longer streams, doing 3 or 4 missions.
I jumped back into Cyberpunk, man.
Purple's calling you out, bro.
I jumped back into Cyberpunk. What she said, FT6 episode. Oh, damn.
Yep.
That's going to be like me and Sekiro.
Hey, what's funny about it is like when it started getting up into the 20s, that's when I started saying I would start the show with like Far Cry 6 episode 352. Oh god. But anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody for stopping into the chat. Thank you guys. Thanks to my co-host. Thanks to the entire Cloudy Game Reviews panel. Like I said, there's links to everybody in the description. Check it out. Be sure to check out pntsnetwork.com and stadiadosage.com. And also, if you haven't, hit that like button and subscribe. We'll be back next Saturday
Monk.
with more games. Peace out, everybody.
Peace. Enjoy these games.